But he also managed the process of transition. I mean, obviously, he wanted me ultimately to run the company. But if you notice the work things I went through, I touched every part of the organization. I was in buying, I was in operations, I was in corporate development. I ran marketing I touched everything. And by the time that I was finally ready to take on senior management position in 1997, I was a pretty seasoned guy. And one of the things I learned from my MBA here, somebody said to me at that time, that said, you'll really appreciate your MBA 5 years more. After you finish, 5 years later, it'll be even more valuable to you. In 10 years, even more valuable. And my business education, it's the gift that, Ivy, the reason I support Ivy is it's a gift that's kept on giving for so many years to me. Because what I learned through case method study has taught me to be a much, much better leader than I would have been. And my father had excellent outside advisors who ensured in my personal development that I had the goods to succeed in. Because trust me, in any business, but particularly in family businesses, there are lots of dumb kids. Not Graham. Graham, you're okay. Look, just because you're my son or my daughter or whatever, it doesn't mean you're smart or you're capable. I mean, you can be smart, you can be brilliant, but it doesn't mean you're capable to run a business. As I said, I was exposed in a meaningful way to various areas of the business that I learned. And I wasn't rushed into being the top kahuna. I was given time to develop. And the other thing that I really respect about my father, who was such an iconic figure, is he didn't expect me to be him. He knew, he's not a trained businessman, but he's a passionate retailer. And he allowed me to be different from him. And that was very wise. And that's great leadership from my point of view. Well, that's a great and difficult question. First of all, we're blessed in Canada. The downturn and how it impacted us. We were down 8%. Better quality retailers in the United States were down 40 to 50%. I don't know how I would have dealt with that, frankly. I have friends that went through that, and they were, they had to cut huge swaths of their workforce. They had to renegotiate bank loans and leases. We went from being extremely profitable to a little less profitable. So we were blessed with the, Canada has been in such a good place for the last number of years, and it was incredible. So, in fact, we're running this year back at or above where we were in 2008. In 2009, as I said, we were nicely black. Our people, we did a number of things. First of all, we realized it was going to be a tough time for them. So we do these things called contests or special incentives, and we just made sure we said, you know what, our people's earnings, with business down, they're going to earn a little less. So we brought on a whole bunch more contests and special incentives and team incentives and stuff like that to get people motivated and excited and supplemented their earnings. So we sucked it up. We were able to do a little bit of what you were talking about making a little longer term decision to make sure that our people weren't as hurt. They earned less, but we sort of softened the blow.